Unfortunately, 34 structures have been destroyed. 27 of them were homes. KITV's Adele Uchida and Lindsay Lippman are leading our coverage right now. Adele is live in Bastrop County with the latest efforts on tackling this fire. Adele.
Well, while firefighters will work through the night to try and put out the Hidden Pines fire here in Bastrop County, I'm at the command center where state and local agencies are working together to try to put out that fire, hopefully before any more homes are lost. Late in the day, this group of firefighters from Capel in the Dallas-Fort Worth area
this morning we get what's called a resource order.
Gassed up and headed right back inside the fire perimeter.
It's not as intense as it was back in 2011, but it's just creeping around right now in all the old growth.
While crews did the hard work of controlling the flames at the Smithville Rec Center,
155 Rolling Pines.
Authorities revealed how much damage has been done so far.
We've had 3 very tough days for Bastrop County.
Dozens of buildings have been burned, at least 27 of them homes. 400 homes have been evacuated, and the fire itself has proved to be tricky.
This is one of the most non-traditional, I think, fires that we've had. I want you to keep that in mind. I want you to keep those firefighters in mind. They're going to be out there all night.
But the news isn't as dire as it was 4 years ago when wildfire destroyed more than 30,000 acres of trees.
We see favorable conditions tonight in the weather, higher humidities and low wind speeds.
Tomorrow, more help arrives, more crews like the crew from Capel.
And we're just kind of like a labor force of firefighters. Whatever needs to be done on the line, that's what we do.
Helping Central Texans fight a threat they've seen before and hope this time it's not so bad.
It's so dry now, it's getting to the tops of the trees, and all the older trees have been dead. It's burning in those older trees, and so we're mitigating those by dropping those trees.
Now, authorities told the people who live here that today's weather made a difference, and they feel very optimistic about the firefighting efforts that happened earlier today. They say if it continues like that, they could have this fire wrapped up by early next week. Live in Bastrop County, Adele Uchida, KITV News.
Thanks, Adela. Here's a look at the areas evacuated right now here in red. Most of the roads between Bisher State Park and Bastrop State Park are involved in this evacuation. About 400 families are out of their homes tonight. So far, early in the day, only a few people were let back in and are still at risk of being evacuated again. It's right now at about 4,800 acres.
Tonight, homeowners aren't just concerned about what the fire might take. They're also worried about looters. Take a look at this photo where one homeowner made it clear they will shoot any looters they see. KITV's Lindsay Lippman joins us live along Highway 71. Lindsay, this is the last thing they need to be worrying about tonight.
It really is, but it's on their minds tonight, Hema. Now, compared to last night, you can tell that the fire is better contained. It's burning just over that ridge, and we have to zoom all the way in to get a good look at it. It is pushing further away from Highway 71 here in Bastrop County, but I'm told by some residents that this big fire is bringing out a lot of people, some of them from out of town, and not everyone is friendly.
I had to drive through all these burning, falling trees across the road, and it looked like you were in Hades.
In a car that escaped flames in 2011, Gary Baltus sits as ashes collect on his windshield, not just to make sure his home is okay.
This is not my first rodeo here.
But also to protect his property.
I sat there for 22 days on my front porch with a .357 Magnum.
A neighbor spells it out with spray paint and tin siding. You loot, we shoot. Baltus says some neighbors got the ultimate shock when they returned home in 2011.
Some bastard went in and stripped them completely of everything they had. They didn't lose it to the fire, they lost it to them.
The Bastrop County Sheriff's Office has a strict policy on who is allowed into an evacuated area.
They go and they patrol every once in a while and come back out and everything, so we know they're watching to see if anybody's coming in.
Steve Sims was allowed to get medication. He wants firefighters to be able to knock down the fire as soon as possible so he can return home before looters start to lurk.
We sure were hoping to get back in our house and sleep in our bed tonight for sure, but now we don't know.
And a lot of people are in his same situation tonight. So far, there have been no reports of looting, but evacuations may continue. And so homeowners are encouraged to take all their valuables with them and also lock up their homes. Reporting live from Bastrop County tonight, Lindsay Lippman, KITV News.
Lindsay, thank you. And a good soaking rain would sure help the firefighting efforts out there. But is there any on the way? And when could we finally see some cooler temperatures? Here's Storm Tracker Chief Meteorologist Chicago Winland.
Let's first start talking about the rain. We haven't had a single drop this month of October. I have hopes next Wednesday and Thursday that we'll finally see some rain. As for temperatures today, we hit a record-setting 95. I think we've got one more record before things start to cool down this weekend. High fire danger, despite the fact that humidities haven't been quite as low and winds haven't been quite as high, we're still not out of the woods. High fire danger for yet one more day. Tomorrow, the winds out of the northeast to east, about 5 miles per hour. Could see some gusts up to 12. Hopefully that will continue to help firefighters as they battle the flames. Right now, temperature down to 78 degrees. Wouldn't it be nice to have a high of around 78 degrees? That's not out of the question. Hour by hour through the overnight, temperatures dropping all the way into the 60s. It will be hazy yet again tomorrow. Now ahead at 10, a drought update, how much needed rain we could finally get and when those temperatures feel like fall again.
Thanks, Chicago. Hema was out there this afternoon. It's really controlled chaos. And at this hour, crews are using every resource on the ground and in the air to fight the flames.
You could definitely see the planes going back and forth picking up water, but there are concerns those crews could run out of flame retardant soon. 4 single-engine tankers are loaded up with 750 gallons of fire retardant. An air traffic controller then coordinates where those tankers drop it. But most of the extinguishing is happening on the ground. Emergency management officials say the aircraft only divert the flames, but it is up to the people on the ground to actually put out the fire.
Oh, this is always the heartbreaker with these fires. The Austin Humane Society is packed with animals from Bastrop. So far, they've taken in almost 100 dogs and a couple dozen cats and kittens.
As you can see, they are getting full over there. KITV's Melanie Torrey was there as some of those animals arrived bruised and burned.
Austin Humane Society vans filled with Bastrop's homeless pets. Some of them cheerful, excited for new beginnings, but others are in pain.
I don't see any burns on him, but something, yeah, he's not wanting to stand.
Chief Veterinarian Katie Luke is examining a dog that may have been hit by a car. Another dog brought to Austin in the same van has noticeable burns from the Hidden Pines fire.
And that was our experience in 2011 too, as we served as a hospital burn unit basically as well.
Tonight the Bastrop shelter is making room for evacuated pets that can't stay in hotels or shelters with their owners. The animals you'll find in Austin are eligible for adoption. Most of them were already at the Bastrop shelter before the fire. The injured strays were found along the way.
And we're really desperate for people to come. If they've been thinking about getting a pet, this would be a great time. It would really help out.
Now through Sunday, adoption fees at the Austin Humane Society are waived. Donations and fosters are needed too.
Short term, a week or so, a few days even, we really could use foster support.
About 100 Bastrop dogs and cats need homes, and that number is only expected to go up. Melanie Torrey, KITV News.
Kids overdosing on alcohol without any drinks around.
It seems very innocuous. It's something that as a mother you might use very frequently.
What could happen if your child gets a hold of hand sanitizer without you knowing?
On the run, a woman accused of carjacking is nowhere to be found. A closer look at who local police are looking for.
And here we are talking about record heat. Right now it's not too bad in the 70s, but you know what? Today, NOAA released its winter outlook. Big changes on the way for Central Texas. Let you know what? Ahead in your Storm Tracker 7.
Right now, a live look from Bastrop County where the fire is still burning tonight. You see flames there in the distance. 27 families without homes, and the fire is only 25% contained. We'll have more on this developing situation after the break.
New tonight, the UIL has handed down punishments to the 2 players accused of tackling a referee at a football game. We all saw the video. Michael Moreno and Victor Rojas, who are on John Jay High School's football team, have been suspended from playing for the rest of the school year. As for the assistant coach, Mac Breed, he's facing a year suspension and 2 years probation, a punishment some consider lenient. Investigators have identified this woman seen on your screen as Vicki Fields. Seen in the black shirt, she is wanted after she reportedly carjacked a woman in Manor. Fields is now charged with aggravated robbery, but still has not been found. Police say she was in a green Mitsubishi SUV before stealing a black Ford Ranger and dragging the victim along the road. If you see her, please call police.
A common way to clean your hands, but it could also be the cause of accidental poisoning. We're talking about hand sanitizer. Poison control centers around the country have seen a major increase in calls about the alcohol-based cleaner. KITV's Sarah Navoy spoke with experts about the risk and what you need to know.
Look, Brooklyn, look, there's a cow.
Protect your kids, keep them safe. It's the constant mom mantra. Mother of two, Donna Beavers, knows it well.
When you become a mother, you're just hypersensitive to dangers around them.
Dangers including chemicals. She's so careful, she even patented her own teething ring.
No BPA, no phthalates.
And only uses handmade hand sanitizer.
Just let's wipe your hands off real quick. Central Texas Poison Center, this is Michelle.
At the Poison Control Center, callers help dozens of worried parents like Beavers every day. And calls about hand sanitizer are on the rise. An average of 1,500 cases a year in Central Texas. Nationally, there's been a 400% increase since 2010.
And how much do you think he actually swallowed?
Hand sanitizer can contain nearly twice as much alcohol as, say, vodka or whiskey. Which is why just a few small pumps ingested by a small child can cause serious problems.
Confusion, changes in behavior, even sleepiness to the point of losing their breathing.
Medical director at the Central Texas Poison Center, Ryan Morrissey, says extreme cases that involve the child being sent to the ER are rare, but do happen.
Trying to have it near enough by for an adult, but have it out of reach of small children, same as you would alcohol in general.
A kid tries to grab it, it will just spin.
Jennifer Murray is a professional baby proofer. She helps parents get their homes ready and safe for kids. She tries to point out the non-obvious dangers like hand sanitizer to parents.
That's something you think, okay, I'm just washing my hands. It seems very innocuous. It's something that as a mother you might use very frequently.
Murray says while it's hard to keep your children perfectly safe all the time,
it's pretty standard. You open it up, push down to release.
She and experts believe the best thing you can do is stay aware and keep what may be dangerous locked up.
I don't think I'll ever stop worrying about my kids.
Sarah Navoy, KITV News.
Right now, we're worrying about the fires in Bastrop County. Another live look from Bastrop County tonight, where the Hidden Pines fire has grown to more than 4,800 acres. Thankfully, crews have been able to contain 25% of the flames, allowing some residents to go back into their homes.
The fire is expected to keep burning over the next 7 to 10 days. Governor Greg Abbott has declared Bastrop County a state of disaster. Crews from around Texas and even as far as Florida and Georgia are being called in to help. For the past couple of days, all eyes have been on the fire and that huge plume of smoke coming from Bastrop.
So many pictures. Some of you have captured amazing images out there. Here's a look from our Banjo app. Here you can see the blaze during the night. Really ominous looking there. This photo, plus this one from HEB Plus, shows the jaw-dropping smoke. It looks like it's just going to eat that huge grocery store. And here's a view from the sky, a giant white plume of smoke. Of course, crews have been working tirelessly to extinguish all of this fire.
Meanwhile, the state of Texas is doing what it can to help victims. They've set up a disaster hotline. You can call 1-800-504-7030 to speak with the State Bar of Texas, have them answer any questions you might have.
Of course, we're keeping an eye on Bastrop County tonight, where the Hidden Pines fire has grown to more than 4,800 acres. Thankfully, crews have been able to contain 25% of the flames, allowing some residents to go back to their homes.
The fire is expected to keep burning over the next 7 to 10 days. Governor Greg Abbott has declared a state of disaster in Bastrop County. Crews from around Texas and even as far as Florida and Georgia now are being called in to help. We'll have more on this developing situation on the KITV Morning News. And overnight, looking into the morning, we really are looking for any help from the weather.
Right now, it looks like winds will be light through the overnight. That's a good thing. Relative humidities tomorrow will be low, but not necessarily as low as they have been. That's also a good thing. Rain would be a great thing. We'll have to wait till Wednesday and Thursday for our best chances of that. 40% both of those days. Oh, and if you like this heat, the records we've been experiencing, lucky you, tomorrow, 94 degrees, one more record, and then a little bit of a reality check.
Oh boy. All right.
Thanks for staying up late with us tonight. Next on Colbert, Oprah and Joseph Fink. Good night.